Welcome, Focus Learners. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me for this explainer today. We're looking at a story that literally bridges millennia. It takes the tragedy of an ancient natural disaster and combines it with the absolute cutting edge of modern computer science. Okay, let's dive into this, right into the ashes of 79 AD. Imagine for a second opening a mystery box that's been sealed shut for over 2 millennia. Right? That is exactly the seemingly impossible puzzle left behind by the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius. An entire library of papyrus scrolls was just flash-fried, carbonized into these brittle lumps of ash that honestly look way more like burnt logs than ancient texts. If you try to open them, they literally crumble into dust. Poof, gone. So how on earth do you read them without destroying them? Section 1. Buried under Vesuvius. We're dealing with an incredible scale of time here, and frankly, some sheer strokes of luck. In 79 CE, Mount Vesuvius erupts, completely wiping out the coastal Roman city of Herculaneum. It buried this massive, luxurious villa, which experts actually think was built by Julius Caesar's father-in-law. Fast forward over 1,600 years to 1752. Neapolitan excavators working for Charles III of Spain accidentally stumble upon this buried structure. They pull out hundreds of these carbonized, ash-covered scrolls. And this discovery was monumental because it was, and it actually still is, the first and only intact library ever preserved from Greco-Roman times. But, for centuries, the knowledge locked inside remained an agonizingly out-of-reach dream, until the astonishing breakthroughs of 2023. For a long time, the attempts to read these scrolls were, well-intentioned, but completely disastrous. Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, eager antiquarians tried physically unrolling them, which, as you can guess, usually meant slicing them open with knives or trying to peel them apart layer by layer. This permanently destroyed so many of the fragile outer texts. It gets worse. In 1821, the famous chemist Sir Humphrey Davy had the brilliant idea to douse the papyri in chlorine chemicals. Yeah, as you can imagine, that did not go well and caused even more destruction. But contrast that absolute tragedy with today's modern AI methods. We now use non-invasive volumetric 3D X-ray mapping. We don't even have to touch the physical layers of the scrolls to reveal the secrets inside. It's like magic. Section 2. AI cracks the code. So the magic phrase here is virtual unwrapping. Essentially, this means using computational algorithms and high-resolution 3D CT scans to digitally unfold and read these damaged volumetric datasets, like our carbonized scrolls, without any physical intervention whatsoever. At the absolute heart of this whole process is a powerful C++ toolkit called Volume Cartographer. This specialized software was designed specifically to navigate through the incredibly complex, crinkled, and totally squashed internal layers of these badly damaged manuscripts. Let's move to and see how this builds. To actually pull this off, the competitors in the Vesuvius challenge utilized a very precise 3-step workflow. Step 1 involves hitting the scrolls with incredibly high-resolution 3D CT scanning. We're talking about scans taken at massive facilities like the Diamond Light Source Particle Accelerator. Step 2 is volumetric segmentation and 3D mapping. This basically means tracing these severely crushed and folded layers of the papyrus within that 3D volume, using that volume cartographer software we just mentioned. And finally, step 3 is AI ink detection. See, the ancient ink used by the Romans was carbon-based, just like the burnt papyrus itself, so it doesn't glow or show up in normal X-rays. Because of that, machine learning models are trained to detect microscopic, almost invisible changes in the papyrus texture to find exactly where the ink sits on the page. And then the ultimate breakthrough happened. A 21-year-old college student from Nebraska named Luke Ferriter trained a machine learning model on these textural changes and became the very first person in over 2,000 years to read a complete word from inside a closed scroll. The word was porphyros, which is the ancient Greek word for purple. This thrilling achievement won him the first letters prize and proved to the entire world that yes, virtual unwrapping was truly possible. But the momentum didn't stop there. In December 2023, a massive grand prize of $700,000 was awarded. A literal global super team formed, combining the exceptional talents of Youssef Nader, an Egyptian PhD student in Berlin, Luke Ferriter, and Julian Schilliger, a Swiss robotics student at ETH Zurich. Working together, they optimized the segmentation tooling and the ink detection algorithms and managed to recover over 2,000 characters of text from 15 different columns hidden inside the scroll. Just incredible. The human payoff of this technology is absolutely staggering. When the papyrologists translated those digital letters, they found that these words, locked in volcanic mud and ash for centuries, were finally speaking to us again. The scroll discusses music, food, and the philosophical debate on how to enjoy life's pleasures. We are suddenly eavesdropping on a vibrant, everyday conversation from antiquity brought back to life entirely by artificial intelligence.
Section 3. Transforming Global Heritage.
Now, a really fascinating research paper published by Lindenwood University highlights how AI is becoming a transformative force across entirely different cultures and types of heritage. It's not just Roman scrolls. For example, we're seeing digital twinning for architecture, which creates highly accurate virtual replicas of historical buildings. There's predictive maintenance being used to identify minute patterns of decay before they actually destroy a monument. Machine learning models are being developed right now to decipher ancient scripts at Mayan ruins. AI is even being used for the structural analysis of the fire-damaged remains at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, and for managing massive data sets to aid the preservation of China's terracotta army. AI is fundamentally changing the global conservation landscape.
So the crucial point is that with all this incredible technological power, we have to be extremely thoughtful about how we use it. The research outlines a few practical dilemmas we face when integrating AI into cultural conservation. For instance, if we rely too heavily on algorithmic generation, we risk inauthentic restorations that don't respect an artifact's true history, essentially rewriting the human story we're trying to save. We also risk perpetuating data biases present in the training models or losing vital cultural context during digital translation. To mitigate these risks, the recommendations are pretty straightforward. Create ethical frameworks tailored specifically for AI, establish a stable, ongoing dialogue between software technologists and traditional historians, and actively enhance AI literacy among conservators so they truly understand the tools they're using.
There's another unique and vital strategic recommendation here, and that is the concept of green conservation. This simply means demanding that our AI applications, which, let's face it, can be incredibly resource-intensive, actively support environmental sustainability. We really must ensure that the massive computational power we use to preserve our past doesn't end up environmentally compromising our future.
Section 4. The human element. And this brilliantly illustrates the core truth of this technological revolution. AI has unmatched pattern recognition for sure. It can spot the microscopic textural variations of carbon ink on carbonized papyrus way better than any human eye ever could. But AI does not understand what it is reading. It lacks empathy, it lacks the emotional intelligence needed for true cultural preservation. Ultimately, it still takes human papyrologists to read the ancient Greek, understand the philosophical context of the writing, and actually interpret the poetry of our ancestors. To ensure our conservation efforts remain culturally informed and respectful, human experts bring absolutely indispensable traits to this symbiotic relationship. First, we bring emotional and cultural intelligence, the ability to grasp the nuance of an entire civilization. We provide the necessary ethical reasoning and oversight to prevent the misuse or biased application of AI. We bring a deep appreciation for the intangible societal, spiritual, and emotional values attached to historical artifacts. I mean, a 3D scan can capture the physical shape of an artifact, but it can't tell you what it meant to the people who actually used it. And critically, humans bring domain-specific historical context that algorithms simply do not possess. It is this collaboration, the sheer computational efficiency of AI combined with the interpretive depth and wisdom of human experts, that makes authentic preservation possible.
We've gone from slicing open charred logs with knives to using particle accelerators and neural networks to read the minds of ancient philosophers. It is just a breathtaking leap forward. We now possess the tools to read the unreadable and preserve the unpreservable. So, I'll leave you with this to ponder. As AI gives us the ultimate master key to our past, how will this symbiotic partnership reshape our future? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.